Christopher Mad Dog Russo, host of Mad Dog Unleashed on Sirius XM Channel 82. Also brings the high heat on MLB Network and contributor to First Take on ESPN. You got to love this World Series. This is right up your alley. This is old school. You're going to get the entire Dodger infield probably on the show.
Ron Say, good morning, Danny.
Hi, buddy.
Ron Say.
Wait,
Ron
did you
Say,
give any thought to your hair today?
No, I didn't. I know last time I was in bad shape.
Wait, but your wife helps you, doesn't she?
You know, she's away right now visiting my children on the West Coast. So I don't have, and I can't ask my daughter Kira to do my makeup. So as a result, I came up here, and I know that you guys put it up last time. I look like an idiot. But I mean, I figured out what the heck. For you, I just want to come on and chat.
Thank you.
I did have Ron Say on yesterday at the top of the show, and partly Fernando, who passed away, and partly because of those Yankee Dodgers series, and he was still very aggravated when Reggie Jackson stuck out his hip. You remember that in Game 4 of the '78 World Series? It changed the whole game. Dodgers were up 2-1 at the time. They ended up losing in 6 games. He was still ticked off by that. But, the amazing thing about this World Series, when you think about it, Dan, there's 2 things. One, they've been in the playoffs, these 2 franchises, before this year, 12 times at the same time together. And this is the first time in 13 they both made the World Series, which I find interesting since 1981. And I find that interesting. And the second thing that's interesting here, Edmonton, when they lost to Florida, what are you going to do? They had a great year. Dallas, when they lost to the Celtics, what are you going to do? They had a great year. Most of the time, if you get to a Super Bowl, if you get to an NBA final, you get to a World Series, the Mets had a great year. The Guardians had a good year. Not the case in this World Series. The loser, because of their payroll, because of the fact the Yankees haven't won in 15 years, the Dodgers only won that pandemic in 40 years, you can make the argument the loser here is going to be bitterly disappointed. So I think that makes for a fascinating World Series. And I also think it's very close. You can make a case for the Dodgers. You can make a case for the Yankees. I don't think there's a prohibitive favorite in this World Series. So they should have length and drama.
We had the commissioner on yesterday, and I said he deserved a victory lap. I think baseball had a really good year. If you look at how we were starting the year with Ohtani, with the gambling situation, and then you end up with Dodgers-Yankees in the World Series, how would you rank the season that baseball had?
Excellent point. They had drama late in the year with the wild card. Ohtani has the record performance year. Judge hits 50-something home runs. They would never admit it, but Yankees and Dodgers is better than Guardians and Mets. So from that standpoint, they got drama there. They had a very good performance at the Rickwood Stadium when Willie Mays passed away. They with the game down there in Alabama where Willie played. So that turned out that they do a great job at that. Field of Dreams and, the Williamsport games, they do an excellent job at that. I agree with you, Danny. And I think you're the expert with this. Last year, the World Series with Arizona and Texas, they didn't do that well. 9-10 million the average. I would think this World Series, if it goes length deep, I got to figure 15-18 million on the average? You would be the better judge of that because you know the ratings game better than I do.
Yeah,
what's your thought if it goes deep?
I hope that you're approaching 15 million. I hope that's sort of where we start. You can't ask for a better matchup because you have Ohtani, you have the Dodgers, you have the Yankees, and you have Judge, and this is worldwide too. When you bring in Ohtani, now it's worldwide. Now I know you don't get credit for those ratings in Japan, but this will be a monstrous rating as well. But it's good for baseball that more eyes are on this. I think there's a younger demo watching. I think the game now it's sped up. Now there's movement. Stolen bases are back. It just feels like there's a lot of momentum there. And I know we're going to go to the automatic balls and strikes here. And the commissioner said that in the next 4 years, we're going to have some version of that. And he even said you got to get past the first month. When you have change, whether it's the size of the bases or the pitch clock, once you get past the first 30 days, nobody brought up the pitch clock. Nobody's brought up base. None of that.
Nobody.
Now we accept it. And I think the big key, the big jump is going to be automatic balls and strikes over the next couple of years.
Be interesting if they do a challenge system with that, or if they actually have the automated scenario there.
I think he talked about there would be a challenge scenario attached to this.
Yeah, so I mean that will be interesting, and listen, I don't love that, but okay, if they want to go use technology for it, let them do it.
But you're a tennis fan, Chris. You want to get the calls right. They've mastered it. I mean, can you like it in tennis and not like it in baseball?
Fair point. It's a fair point. I guess you could make that argument. I mean, in tennis, you also can make an argument that a line call is much more significant than it would be a ball and strike call in the second inning.
That's true.
I mean, you can make that argument that the decision with line calls from a 3 or a 5 set match are more important than a ball and strike call in the bottom of the third. So that's the argument I would make. And I also don't want a huge delay. But I understand that. I do like the human element. See, the other thing is there's some charm to the umpire with balls and strikes. There's no charm to a lines person making a call. So I think so I'm not in love with it, but listen, I can't argue with the scenario with the situation with the pitch clock, and it moved quickly and everything else. But I think a very, very good World Series. I think the big edge the Yankees have, Danny, is they got a better starting rotation.
Yeah.
I mean, they got 5 or 6 pitchers. The Dodgers don't really have that. Dodgers have other advantages, but the Yankee advantage in the rotation, to me, gives them a little edge. Now, I would not be shocked if the Dodgers won. Here's the thing I would be shocked at. I would be very surprised if this goes any less than 6 games. There's going to be a ball game a week from Friday night, game 6 at Dodger Stadium. Somebody's up 3-2. I would say that.
We're talking to Christopher Mad Dog Russo. You were doing High Heat yesterday on MLB, I think yesterday or this week, and you had Brian Cashman on, the Yankee GM. I'm going to play your question, and then here's his answer.
Give me your thoughts here of finally getting back and winning a pennant after a 15-year, I don't want to say drought, that's not fair, but you understand what I'm saying with the gap. How about winning the pennant? How does that mean to you?
It means a lot, and I hate the 15-year thing because it completely forgets and discounts that some other organization cheated us when we were all the way in the end. If you knew what was going on, I don't think they would be advancing during that time thing. I think we would have been advancing. So I hate that 15-year thing because I don't think it accurately reflects history.
Okay. Is Brian being fair to the word cheating?
No, he's not. First off, Brian's forgetting about 4 things. The Astros beat the Yankees in 2015. The Astros beat the Yankees in 2019. The Astros beat the Yankees in 2000, and then they beat them again 2 years ago in 4 straight games. So the Astros eliminated the Yankees in 3 other rounds in 3 other years. Number 2, if you be fair about it, what did the Yankees hit in that series against Houston? They hit about 160. What did the Yankees hit with runners in scoring position in that 7-game series? They hit about 185. I understand he's frustrated. I understand that, maybe there was a scenario where the Yankees, I know the Astros cheating is a joke, and they should have been punished as they were. But remember, in Game 7, the Yankees pitched CC Sabathia. I mean, he was old and he was shot at that point, a Hall of Famer. So, I mean, it's not like the Yankees pitched, Whitey Ford, and for some ungodly reason, he gave up 8 runs in the first inning. I know the Yankees feel that way. I know the Dodgers feel that way. The Dodgers in the World Series lost that year in 7 games. The Dodgers lost 2 games at home that year in the World Series. Did the Astros cheat in Dodger Stadium? The Astros also that year in the World Series in Game 2, they trailed and they buried Jansen in the 9th inning to win the game. So, did the Astros cheat when the Dodgers had a blown save? I understand Brian's frustration. He's a great general manager. I think that's a little unfair to pin the 17 loss on the idea that the Yankees were jobbed when the Yankees in that World Series in Houston hit 150. They hit 150, they hit 20 runs in 4 games. They lost 2-0, 2-1. Verlander beat them. So I think it's a little misleading when the Yankees bring that up. And it's still sore, as you can say, the Yankees are still ticked off about the 17 World Series, about the 17 ALCS.
I didn't see this, but I read it where you kind of dismiss the Bronny, LeBron James concocted script.
Yeah, I can't stand it. What a waste of time that is. Yes, I think that's so stupid. That is so, Dan, that is so artificial. That is so, I mean, come on. He had 1 rebound in 3 minutes. He's going to be in the G League in about a week. Listen, LeBron is a wonderful player, and I understand that Lakers are trying to make sure that he is motivated and he's galvanized, and it meant something to him. So I understand that. But I walk around town all the time. I did not have one person tell me, wow, did you see that Bronny played with LeBron last night? The American sports fan could care less. Let's be fair. And don't compare it to Griffey. I looked it up. When Ken Griffey played with his son with Seattle, he hit 306 that year. And 1 year, and then another year, he had a 380 batting average. Griffey could still hit when he was 41 years of age. Bronny's not an NBA player right now. The Lakers did this to pacify LeBron, which I understand. He's the second greatest player of all time. It meant something to him. Okay. But don't try to convince the American sports fan that this is a big deal that LeBron played with his kid and it's the first ever, because I think it's fake. That's my take. I know a lot of people disagree. That's my take.
Okay. Your son's just starting out in the business. He doesn't warrant being on a big stage, but let's say you say to management, I'd like to do a radio show with my son on Sirius XM.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but I understand what your point is. I wouldn't say that because these jobs are very difficult to get. And I think that advantage for him would be unfair. So I would not tell, bosses, hey, do me a favor, make sure Colin Russo gets on Sirius and does a once a week show with me. I swear to God, you can tell anybody down in West Palm, I wouldn't say that.
Okay.
And I'll say this right now. I won't say that because that will get me in trouble.
Your wife's out of town. You can't get in trouble.
I'll say it. Colin, on a radio perspective, he is better at what he does right now than Bronny is what he does. How's that? Okay. I'll say that with all sorts of confidence.
Okay.
I just think, to me, it was, you don't think that was a little artificial?
Yes. Yes, the whole draft was artificial.
Okay, so you agree with me?
Yeah. But I still think it was pretty cool that they were able to pull this off. Now, Bronny is a G League player, but this was just a LeBron. If it keeps LeBron engaged, Chris.
Yeah, I understand.
He's one of the top 10 players in the game at age 20 or
yes,
22 years in. If it means
that
he's going to be excited, still playing. If I'm a Laker fan or the NBA, I want LeBron still in the game, playing at a very high level.
Excellent point.
And Bronny should go. This is what I think is going to happen. Bronny's 12th man. He got in. He'll get seasoned in the G League, and then they'll bring him up probably for the Christmas Day game. I think they'll pick spots to bring him up, let him play a little bit, and then send him back down. That's what I would hope. Dalton Connect is the rookie that we should be talking about.
And he's good.
Yes.
He's good.
I
love him.
And not Bronny James.
I agree.
Yeah.
So your point is you're okay with it because it's good for LeBron. And what's good for LeBron is good for the game, which means it's good for us. That's where you come down on this?
Yeah, because he didn't play that long. I think it was, all right, we'll put him in. It's kind of like a ceremonial first pitch.
Well, don't make it historical then. Don't say, wow, this is the first.
Well, it's not like the Griffeys. I agree with you.
Don't make it historical. If your point is, hey, listen, LeBron's earned this, and that's your point,
yeah,
that's fair. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
But don't make this some unbelievable event that the sports fans got to pay attention to because we're pacifying LeBron James.
Yeah, but you work part-time for a network. That makes this bigger than what it needs to be.
I agree. And that is why yesterday, part-time's a little strong, Dan. You're ESPN. I'm on there 2 hours a week to help Stephen A. I mean, to say that I'm an ESPN employee is a little strong, but
do you have an ESPN ID?
No, I don't.
Okay, all right. Then you're not an.
I can get into Disney World with a discount if that's what you mean. Now, I tell you a little secret. I told him yesterday. I said, guys, listen. I'll play this is how I feel about Bronny. If you don't want me to get into this because it's going to bother people, I'll lay low. And to Stephen A's credit, he said, Chris, you say what you have to say. If you get pounded, who cares? We all get pounded on first day. Say what you have to say. So that's what I said. There you go.
Yeah, I know. but that's where I couldn't do it anymore. And I did it when I was there where they'd say, hey, you got to go Duke, North Carolina basketball. You got to talk Yankees, Red Sox. And you know, you guys are told here's topics there. And the amount of times that you can create, now everybody's doing this. What's the cowboy angle today?
I know. A lot of Dak Prescott. A lot of Dak Prescott.
But I love when you fight back because you're going to speak to more people instead of playing the hits like they do.
Here's what I would say, and I'm not patting myself on the back. This is just me telling you because you and I have been together and known each other for a very long time. Here's what I would say. How many people, and I didn't do this on purpose. I just did this because this is how I felt. How many people are going to go on ESPN, no matter what the show, and knock the idea that I've seen too much of Jason Kelce? How many people are going to do that?
Yes.
Because he was all of that Atlanta-Philadelphia game. I mean,
that was not good.
That was too much. Let's be fair.
Yes.
Am I right or wrong, Danny? Am I right or wrong?
No, but Stephen A. going to a Knicks playoff game, and you would have thought that he was playing.
Oh, I said that yesterday.
That was bad.
I said, Steve, how about a T-shirt and a pair of jeans in the upper deck? I mean, geez. I said that yesterday. How are you doing? Most importantly,
everything's great. Everything's great.
That's a good spot with Manfred. Yeah,
and you know, I like him.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, I like him. I haven't liked everything he's done, but you know what? It's like David Stern. I really loved Stern.
So did I.
We had battles. But you know what? I thought at least he would listen. I thought at least he was honest with me. And that's all I can ask for when you have like the Commissioner Goodell doesn't come on the show.
I don't get him either.
The other commissioners come on, and I feel like I can say to Adam Silver, this is wrong. Or you got to change the all-NBA. Don't make it, positions. It's positionless. Basketball is positionless. And he changed that. And so
good job. So you had some influence with that.
I do appreciate that. All right, I got to go, and you need to comb your hair. You got to comb your hair.
I'll comb it. I'll see you later.
Thank you, dog. That's Christopher Mad Dog Russo and Sirius XM Channel 82, Mad Dog Unleashed. He's also on First Take. He's not a part-time employee and host of High Heat on MLB. Take a break. Back after this.